Have you been told that your little one has cerebral palsy and you've been checking with Dr. Google, who says that children with cerebral palsy don't walk until they're 4 or 5 years old? And some sites say perhaps up to 8 years old. Hi there, it's Neesha from Sydney Kids Physio. In today's video, I'm jumping in to debunk that myth that children with cerebral palsy don't walk until they're 4 or 5 years old. And worse, some say children with cerebral palsy won't walk until they're 8 years old. Here are the facts. Children with cerebral palsy, at birth, it is hard to actually predict what level of function they will be. There are different assessments and scores that we would use as a child is growing to determine their function. There's a graph that will tell you the different levels of function, and this is that graph. We have, at the end of the day, functional scores and levels that we describe children with cerebral palsy to have. A child who is determined as level 5 function is a child who uses a wheelchair. A child with cerebral palsy determined as level 1 function is a child who will walk without any aids. And in between, we have the different levels of function. This graph shows us over time what's the predicted function of each level of cerebral palsy. And so if you look right at the start when a child is born and if they've been determined to have cerebral palsy, the graphs all start from the same point and they go up. And if you notice at 3 years and below, they're still fairly close together. At 5 years old, it starts to split apart, and then you see they kind of go their own separate graphs. Truth is, under 3 years old, with the right early intervention, we are able to help a child who may have very severe brain injury move from a level 5 predicted function to a level 1 predicted function. We can make the most difference when a child is under 3 years old. And if you really look closely at the first year of life, this is where they're going to differentiate their function. So if we really see a child under 1 years old, we could, and we do often here at Sydney Kids Physio, change the trajectory of a child's future function. It's not true that we have to wait till they're 4 or 5 because that's actually too late. They've now clearly differentiated their function into a level 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. And if you look at 7 and 8 years old, level 5, 4, and 3 actually start to curve down. So if your child has more severe physical disabilities, as in they need a wheelchair, you'll start to notice their function starts to drop a little bit from the age of 7 and 8 years old. So the take-home message for any little one who's been diagnosed as having cerebral palsy is early intervention. We can make the most difference here. So don't believe Dr. Google when they say your child won't walk or you won't see a difference until they're 4 or 5 years old. Really, that's too late. So if you've got a little one with cerebral palsy, reach out and speak to one of our team here at Sydney Kids Physio. Effective early intervention is what will make a difference for your child and their future function. Until next time, have a fantastic day. Bye.